Hey guys, Jeff here with Passive Income Unlocked, and this is update number 2 to the No Stone Unturned case study. This is only month 2, so I don't have a whole lot to share. I will bring up traffic numbers in a minute, but there's not much to see there. But I do have a few updates, so we'll just go over that really quickly. So the first thing we break up on the screen, this is the number of posts that we published so far. So November we published roughly 40 posts, and then in December we published roughly 50. That was kind of our goal from the beginning, publish 40 to 50 posts per month, at least for now. So we are doing well in that regard. So the next thing I want to touch on is indexing. So I've seen a lot of people having issues with indexing in the comments on our videos and other people's videos as well on YouTube. I don't know why that's happening to so many people right now. Just to kind of share our process and what we're seeing so far. Let me bring up a screenshot here. This is the coverage report out of Search Console. As you can see, Google's picking up our posts right away, so we're not having any issues at all with indexing. As far as our process, we're doing the same thing for the most part that we've done with all of our sites. So the first thing we always do is we create a Google Search Console account. We link that to our site. Next, we submit a sitemap through Search Console. After that, once we start publishing posts, we'll usually request manually, we'll manually request indexing for the first 20 to 30 posts. And we don't always do that, but we did that on this site. We've done it on a few of our other sites, or maybe a couple of them. Then from there, that's usually all we do on our sites. Couple things we did in addition to that on this site. We created a Bing Webmaster Tools account and submitted our sitemap over there. And we also have been doing a lot of internal linking, and I'll touch on that in a minute. But typically, we don't even add internal links to our sites until we're a couple hundred posts in. So next, what I'll bring up on the screen, these are our traffic numbers for November and December. This is organic search sessions only, so you're not seeing any traffic from us. So November, we had a little bit of traffic. December, it jumped up a little bit more, not a ton, obviously. Basically, we're seeing about a few visitors every single day. I can't remember the last time we didn't have a visitor on our site, so it is definitely getting consistent and it's kind of growing. So that's good to see. Not a lot of traffic at this point in time, obviously. But what I did was I went back to a couple of our older sites to see where we were at the 1 month mark, 2 month, 3 month, 4, and so on. What I found on those sites is that at month 2, and actually beyond month 2, most days were 0 or just one, maybe one visitor. We weren't really getting any consistent traffic for the first few months. So for us to be seeing at least a few visitors every single day, so some consistency and it's going up and up, that's a good sign for us. We're definitely encouraged by what we're seeing. So next thing I'm going to touch on here is internal linking. So I just mentioned this a minute ago. So a big part of this case study is that we're going to add relevant internal links within our posts, a lot of them. And I'm talking contextual links, so like within the text itself, so not at the bottom of the post. I'm not talking about related posts or popular posts or anything like that, but actual contextual links within the posts themselves. So our basic process with this, with the posts on this case study site, every time we publish an article, we read or skim that article, look for opportunities to link from that article to our previous posts. Once we're done with that, we search our site for topics in that new post from our previous post. So we basically look for linking opportunities from the older post to the newer post as well. That's the process we're doing on every single article that we publish. We're doing this manually, so we're not using Link Whisper or anything like that. On our other sites, we have used Link Whisper, and it works out really well. In this case, because we're publishing all the content at one time and it's all related and we're covering everything so thoroughly, we found it's actually pretty easy to do this manually. I think we're probably finding linking opportunities that a tool like Link Whisper probably wouldn't find. Just because that tool is going to be looking more for exact word match and things like that. So we're actually enjoying the process. It probably takes us quite a bit longer to do it manually, but again, because we're publishing all this content at one time and it's so thorough and it's covering everything, it's actually been pretty easy. We do think this will pay off. And just to give you an idea, so far we've published I think about 110 posts, including the posts from January, and I think we have over 500 internal links on the site already. And there's only a few posts that don't have a link going to them, and we'll probably touch on that later, but almost every single post has a link going to and from it, and most of them have quite a few links going to and from them. And just to give you an idea to compare to, with at least 2 of our other sites, which already have 600 posts or so, they have less than 500 internal links on them each. So we have not prioritized internal linking on those sites. They've done very well nonetheless, but we are definitely actively pursuing internal linking across all of our sites now. We do think it's something that we probably really just missed out on, and we've known about it the whole time, of course. It's just one of those things that takes a lot of time, a lot of work to do, and we just have not prioritized it. But that's why we're putting a focus on it now, and because it's a big part of this case study, we're doing it from day one on this site. So the last thing I want to cover really quickly here, just a couple of small changes from the original case study video that I posted. So originally I mentioned that we were going to publish about 150 posts covering the first 2 topic clusters on the site. And what ended up happening was, as we were doing our keyword research process, we actually figured out that the keyword research process for this case study is different from all of our previous sites. So on our previous sites, every single article would target a single keyword. Yes, we would rank for a bunch of other keywords as well, as you naturally will, but we weren't targeting any other keywords. In this case, because we're trying to cover every single topic super thoroughly, we're finding that it makes a lot more sense to take a topical approach with our articles. So I'd say at least half of our posts are probably targeting more than one keyword, and some of them are targeting quite a few keywords. So what we ended up doing was we went through that list of 150 keywords after we had already outsourced maybe 50 of them or whatever. We went through the remaining 100, and we started combining some of those that we thought they probably don't make sense as individual articles as part of this case study. So we ended up with, instead of 150 articles for this, the first 2 clusters, we have 118, I believe was the number now. The other thing that we decided to change, I think in that first video I mentioned that we were going to publish 150 posts, and then we were just going to put the site on pause, revisit it a few months down the road, maybe at the 6-month mark, 9-month mark, just see how it's doing, and then go from there. What we decided is we're just going to keep publishing. We're confident in our process, and on top of that, we don't want the activity level of the site to be a factor as far as how well the site performs. All of our previous sites we've published from day one and been active on the site, published at a pretty consistent frequency. I don't know if Google looks at a site and starts thinking that, somebody's abandoned the site, or they don't crawl it as much or rank it as well because you're not publishing frequently or whatever. So we're not going to let that be a factor of this case study. We're just going to keep publishing. I don't know if that means we're going to keep publishing at the same rate of 40 or 50 posts per month. We might cut that in half or something like that. But either way, we are going to keep the site active. So guys, that's all I had for this one. Look for another update in the next 30 days or so.